Hi everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen and I'm going to show you today how to make this Blues Clues cake with all the decorations you see there. And if you see me using any tools or supplies that you can use, check the link in the description below to help you out. Okay, I'm going to start with the main little paw print, Blues Clues paw print. And so I started with gum paste. I'm using a big blue circle there that I cut a little niche out on the side. And now I've made 4 other paw prints. 3 are the same size and one you see is a little bit bigger. I'm pressing down on the one that one right there and took a little nip out of it. That's going to go next to the biggest paw print, like the toe pad. And the big toe pad sits in that little niche I carved out of the actual big pad. So just let those sit and, okay, moving on. Now we're going to do the bucket and the shovel. I have some red gum paste. I am cutting out into a slightly curved rectangle, you can kind of see there. And that's going to be just the big body of the bucket. I'm cutting out the long piece that I kind of rolled, laying it across the top to be the rim around the top of the bucket, and then I'm pressing it down a little bit. So it's not really round, but it's thicker. It's kind of flat, sticks out a little bit. I'm going to make the bucket's mouth now. So I took some yellow gum paste, cut out a circle from the circle to create a crescent, and stick it on. I mean, the Blues Clues characters are, you gotta love them because they're pretty simple. Just a lot of circles and crescents and squares, you know. They really keep it a little simpler for us people who try to replicate them. Now I rolled out some more yellow, long and thin. I'm going to cut out an even little strip there, long rectangle. That's going to become the handle of the bucket. So I'm going to put it over the top and then tuck it around behind in the back. So it sits on the top and the front. It'll go behind in the back. I'm going to attach the back with a little bit of water. That piece there in the corner in the front was a little long, so I trimmed it off, and I'm going to finish it by putting a little circle of yellow gum paste right on there to act like the little, not swivel, handle, grip, where it connects to the bucket, that thing. 2 little blue eyes, and then 2 little blue eyebrows finish up this bucket just fine. And for the eyebrows and the eyes, I just used gum paste, rolled the eyebrows between my fingers to make it long and thin, called it good. All right, this is going to be the shovel. I had a circle, as you saw, cut off the top to make a bowl shape. I'm going to outline that bowl shape on all of the sides, the round sides, not the top, with that piece of yellow that I rolled out. And this is still gum paste. You could use fondant with these decorations too, by the way, because these are going onto the side of the cake. They're not standing up necessarily. So, you know, do whatever you want with this one. This one's a little more versatile. I'm going to put a little piece of red that I rolled between my fingers nice and thin for the mouth. Another little tiny piece at the top there to make the little mark of the cheek, I guess, where the mouth goes when they're smiling and happy. A couple little blue eyes, just like before, just a couple of balls that I pressed in. 2 eyebrows. Now this one seems to have bigger eyebrows than the bucket, so I made them a little bit longer and I'm curving them. The buckets were kind of straight, but these are curved. This is going to be the handle of the bucket, or excuse me, the shovel, geez. And I just rolled it long, just kind of bent it into a triangular shape at the bottom and place it on. Now I'm going to show you how to make Mrs. Salt and Mr. Pepper. I am taking white gum paste and I've free-handed just kind of a loose, I guess, salt shaker shape, flat on the top, long, rounded at the bottom. I flipped it over onto gray gum paste and traced it out, so now they are mirror images of each other. I want to have these guys going on top of my cake standing, so I am going to use these with gum paste, or make them out of gum paste, because I do want them to dry and set up. This is going to be the top of the salt and pepper shaker. I just made basically a hat shape. I held up my pieces to that blue gum paste that I have rolled out there so that I knew it would be wide enough. And then just stick it on, make a little hat, make a little derby hat, I guess you could say. One for each of them. Now a couple of blue circles again for their eyes. I'm rolling up and down a little bit on them to make them a little bit more oval than just perfectly round. And I've also moved them onto a paper towel so they can dry. Now this is an arm I'm cutting out. I'm just cutting straight lines with 2 little triangles that I cut out between them to make 3 fingers. Make sure you trim them shorter, round them off, and then I'm just going to lay them on the paper towel and let them dry. Since I do want these to set up, I gotta let them dry before I connect them to Mr. Pepper and Mrs. Salt. I'm giving them a couple of happy mouths. I just took some light pink gum paste, did the thing before, cut out the circle, make a crescent out of it, cut another wedge out of it with a circle cutter to make a crescent, stick it on, and then let them dry. Now for Mr. Pepper, I'm going to add a couple spots here and there with my food coloring marker, just because that's what he's got. So that's what I did. And for Mrs. Salt, I'm going to put a couple little black circles of gum paste on the top to indicate the holes in her shaker top. And just because that's what was in the picture that I was using. All right, now I'm moving on to the clock. I have some magenta color here that I'm cutting out. I use that one circle cutter in the center there that I just removed to make that white circle that I'm putting the water around the edge, you see? And that way, ta-da, they fit into each other so nicely. Now we got basically the body of the clock going. This is going to be her mouth. I just used the same color pink as before. Did the circle with the circle cutter and made the crescent. This is going to be the little alarm bells on top. So I have two purple circles, cut them off on one end so that they're pretty flat. And they're going to kind of go on the sides of her head like Mickey Mouse ears, really. I'm going to use my edible food coloring marker here to write the numbers on her clock face. I'm saying she. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It's been a long time since my kids watched Blue's Clues. My kids were back when Steve was still a thing. So I'm filling in the numbers. What I do is the top is a music note, the bottom 6, and then 3 and 9 at the corners, and then fill in between, because that way you get your spacing done more properly. So yeah, just something to consider. These are going to be the faces. They're the arms of the clock. The purple gum paste, I rolled it between my fingers, as you saw, till it was thin, while leaving a ball at the end that I then flattened, cut out my couple of wedges, so I end up with 3 fingers again. So this one is going to be the minute hand, so it's nice and long. It goes all the way out from the center, all the way out to the edge of the clock's face. And this one is going to become the hour hand, so it's shorter, you see, so it doesn't quite touch. Now I've got my little ball of gum paste in the center to attach them, and there you go. Now 2 little pieces of blue gum paste again to make the eyes of my clock. I'm going to take the same blue and make the feet. I'm just carving out 2 little L's, like letter L's, capital L's, because that's what her feet look like. They're pretty basic. And then speaking of letters, make a little letter T, and that will be the little clapper, I guess it is, on the top of her head. I'm putting a little ball of blue gum paste on top of each bell and moving on. And now I'm going to show you blue. Now to start with my blue, I'm going to start with her body. I'm going to use this light blue color that I got going here, kind of make a pear shape out of it. I cut off the extra at the bottom, and then I rammed a lollipop stick down the center of it. Going to stick it in my wonderful styrofoam square that I use all the time, and I'm moving on to her front paws. For her front paw, you saw me kind of like pressing down and rolling between my hands to kind of make like a golfing tee shape out of it. So I want those toes to really kind of flare out in the front. I cut the extra off on the leg at an angle, and I'm using my blade to separate out 4 toes, because she's got 4 little toes on her feet. And, you just trim it off until it fits up against her body nice and neat. You don't want it to go up too high, though, so make sure it doesn't go up, more than maybe half of the body height of her. I'm going to do the same thing again. Roll it between my hands while pressing down against my counter there to make it flare out at the bottom. Trim off the extra on the back at an angle. Make it kind of really separate out the front. I want those toes to be nice and pudgy. Using my knife blade to separate out 3 sections to make 4 toes. And then stick it on. If you find that they don't match up, because this is something I just edited out, was the one leg was a little taller, so I trimmed it down until they matched. There you go. Now I took a ball of gum paste, pressed down in the center. You see I kind of made a well out of it. Going to use my knife again to make 3 lines, or 3 divots. That'll make 4 toes. These are going to be her little back feet. So I'm going to separate them out pretty nicely, pretty severely. I'm kind of cutting into the gum paste. I'm not just making marks. You see how deep it became? And I'm using my ball tool there to hollow out a little circle in the center, so later on I'm going to add some pad to her feet. Do the same thing one more time. Have your ball, flatten it, add your little separations for the toes, just like that, 4 little toes. Hollow out the center, that will fill in later. Make sure they're the same size. That's always good to do too. And there you go. You got her legs, her body, she's coming together. Now I'm going to make her head. I'm going to start out with a big old ball of blue, the same color blue again. Another pear shape, okay? So she's just a couple of pears with legs is really all she is. And when I'm going to hold it up to the body, make sure I like the size of it. When I have a good size, I'm going to take a smaller ball tool here that I got, and I'm going to put 2 little wells for her eyes. And when you do add the eyes kind of touch in the center, so make sure you put them real close together. I put it down on top of the lollipop stick, so now she's got her head. I messed up the eye holes a little bit, so I just retouched them up. Retouch them up, touch them up. Okay, I'm cutting out a little mouth. All I'm doing is seriously just making a little slice and then pressing down with my knife blade to make it open. When it's big enough, I smoothed it out with my ball tool, and now she's got a very little mouth that's open. I'm taking my knife blade and kind of going Joker on her here. I'm going up into her cheeks, carving just gently a little bit to make her mouth bigger and happy. Now I'm going to show you what I did for her ears. I've got 2 balls of gum paste. I kind of shape it into a tadpole shape, a music note shape, whatever you want to call it. Have a big circle down at the bottom, and then a smaller piece that's going to come up and then turn toward her head. I flipped it over, I copied it on the other side, did the same thing again. So I got a kind of big round area at the bottom that comes up and turns in toward her head. This dark blue I'm using now is going to be for all of her spots in her nose. So on her, let me think, left ear, she's got a big spot right at the bottom of the ear, just like you see me putting on there. And on her right ear, she has a smaller one that kind of sits in the middle of the big round part, almost like an earring, just like that. And another second smaller one at the top where it bends toward her head. Now I'm going to connect her ears, so I'm trimming off just a little flat area so I have something flat to connect to. I'm using a piece of dried spaghetti and shoving it into the top part of her ear, and I'm also making a pilot hole in her head with a bigger piece of spaghetti because pilot holes will save your decorations and save your frustration levels. I put some water in on top of the gum paste and then press it into place, and now I'm using another piece of dried spaghetti into the, I'm going to call it the lobe, the earlobe part of her ear at the bottom to pin it into her head. So now it's supported at the top where it's real small and at the bottom where all the weight is sitting. So it's not just in one spot. Do the same thing on the other side. Plug it in where that pilot hole is. Go through the earlobe at the bottom to really anchor it. Hold it in place. I just broke off any that was too long or sticking out. Smooth out any fingerprints you made. There you go. Now I'm going to add a few more patches to her. She's got one more circle right there on her ear as well as her head. She's got one on her right forearm there. She's got a spot. Oh, these are the pads of her feet. Sorry about that. This is just a thicker piece of the blue that I'm filling in the wells. I'm not making it stick out real far, but I did, put it in so it does stick out a little bit. Isn't she cute? Now I made 2 more circles here, the same size. These are going on the feet. This one goes between the 2 toes. It covers like the 2 toes you see, and I just used my knife blade to press down where the little crease was. And this one goes on 1 toe by itself. I filled in her eyes with some white gum paste, 2 little balls, and again I'm making sure they touch. I mentioned that earlier. And now I'm going to show you how I made her nose. I have a piece of the dark blue, and it was rounded off, and I kind of cut it into or rolled it into a circle, and then cut out kind of a letter T, like almost like a mushroom shape there. And I'm just rounding off all the sharp corners that I've got. So the bottom part is rounded off. Those little sharp corners of my mushroom cap part are rounded off. So now it's just a nice round, kind of large. She's got kind of a big nose, puppy nose. So a little bit of water, stick it into place near her mouth. There you go. And now, like looking at it, I realize I should have made her eyes lower, like a little bit lower on her head. They're up kind of high. They should be closer to her nose. So if you do this, just be aware of it. I'm putting a little piece of red gum paste inside her mouth, a little, I don't know, tic-tac of it, but now I'm pressing down with that knife so it only goes along the bottom part of her mouth. You see? And she has a little tail, a little patch on her back, 2 black dots of gum paste for her eyes, little highlight in each eye, little dot of white gum paste in each eye, and now she just needs one more thing, her little eyebrows. So I rolled out some black gum paste really, really thin, cut out a couple little teeny tiny little pieces of it, put them into place, and you've got blue. Just let her dry and she's good to go. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the cake. I'm starting out with some light blue fondant. This is fondant because we're covering the cake. And I'm using light blue because Blue's Clues, obviously, it has to be light blue. So I rolled it out, covered the cake, smoothed down the sides, trim off the extra, thought I did a good job. You're going to see in a few minutes where I'm going to mess up a little bit. And that's okay because I'm going to show you how I fixed it. Now I'm taking all the decorations that I've made and I'm starting to stick them to my cake. So I start with Blue's paw print first. And I put them in the order that they go so that the divot is kind of up and to the right. The big one goes there, the other toes match up. I'm putting the shovel and the bucket on next. I've got the shovel on there. Now I'm going to attach the handle. Turns out I had to fix the handle a little bit. I had to cut it at an angle because my cake was not that tall. Here comes the bucket, sticking it on. There we go. Looking good so far. There you go. Okay. Now on the other side, I'm going to attach the alarm clock. I'm doing this in segments because she's like really thin and I made her in little pieces that would have been hard to connect if she weren't going to be going onto the side of the cake. And you see that wrinkle that was next to her? I pressed up and down with my fondant paddle to kind of press the wrinkle to the bottom and then cut it off. So that's how you can fix little things like that if you roll your fondant a little thicker, which I always tend to do. And you can also see in the background there that my husband showed up because I do this from my house. I really do it in my kitchen. All right, anyway, I'm using little balls of gum paste to connect the bells to my alarm clock's head because otherwise they wouldn't stay on because, again, the cake is a little shorter than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to add the little clapper to the top with just a little bit of water. That will dry and hold it in place eventually. I'm sticking in Mrs. Salt and Mr. Pepper. And then for my final touch, here comes blue. Now, of these decorations, really salt, pepper, and blue are the only ones that really need to solidify. The other ones got a little too hard in my opinion, so maybe fondant would have been better in that situation. But either way, you get a fun cake. You get a fun Blue's Clues, or if you're newer to this story, Blue's Clues on You cake. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe because it does help me out. Check out my many other videos that I've got out there. And thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.